Mike Bluehair here, founder of Film the Police Portland. This is an update from a video I uploaded last October. You guys may recall a video that I shared involving a Robert West, aka Uncle Bob as I call him, in which a plainclothes Portland Police Bureau officer took no longer than 7 seconds to jump out of his car and grab Bob's camera by the lens, damaging it. Well, there was a CRC hearing recently where a citizen's body basically ruled in favor of Bob to sustain his complaint against Portland Police Bureau. Now we have to wait and see if Portland Police Bureau are going to challenge the finding. This is this big, long, convoluted police accountability process that we have here in Portland, Oregon. So if Chief O'Day decides to not take the recommendations of the Citizens Review Committee, basically it goes to City Council for a vote, and that means more hearings and more bad press for Officer Greshong. This meeting was just absolutely crazy. Officer Greshong, the officer in question that grabbed Bob's camera and damaged it, his immediate supervisor is none other than the infamous Mark Kruger, a cop who has been outed for being an open Nazi. He actually set up a shrine to fallen Nazi soldiers in a park. Guy's just all kinds of creepy. I mean, he's even sporting a Hitler Youth haircut where it's high and tight on the sides and combed over. I can't stress enough how entertaining all the interruptions were. My favorite moment of this entire hearing was when I asked Internal Affairs, what about the dome cameras that were right outside the police garage directly above Bob? 2 cameras, in fact. And the response was those cameras weren't recording anything at the time. Just total massive bullshit. Check out the info link below the video for full information about this story. What you're about to view now is the first in a series of videos from the CRC hearing. It was just very entertaining to watch the Portland Police Bureau's union chief and the Nazi cop Mark Kruger try to make up excuses for the camera grabber. So without further ado, here you go.
At this time, we'll take public comment specifically about the sufficiency of the investigation and the case file. I'd like to take no more than 10 minutes, and it seems to make sense to make sure that everybody gets time to speak. If we could get a rough estimate of how many people want to speak, and then we can divide the time up. So let's try to go about 1.5 minutes each. I think that should be a good estimate. So, I think, well,
I am indicated by your hand.
yes, please.
Madam Chair?
You were just the farthest left with your hand in there, so I started there.
I am addressing the issue here before this official body of people charged with the citizen oversight of the police. I am addressing this body in a period of time when one putative candidate for office is an open fascist and another candidate for office is a warmonger. And that's what we're going to have at the presidential level. Around the world, we see authoritarianism becoming more and more militaristic in every country we look at. And right here in Portland, we are struggling with an attitude of the police that looks with contempt upon the Independent Police Review Board, according to the testimony of its director. This is not then a surprise to us observers that the person who has committed this has been brought before the attention of the community before. And I do not think I am making a personal attack in stating that he was brought to the attention of the community for worship at a Nazi shrine.
Mike Blue here again, representative of Film the Police Portland. So I have a question for you guys. The dome cameras, ×2, both of them that were directly above Robert West. Did IA actually look at those cameras? Because that would show definitively what, officer, they did look at those?
Yes.
Will those be provided to the public?
There was no video footage. The investigator checked for cameras across the street And the cameras that you just mentioned, there was no other video footage available.
No footage?
No.
So you misplaced it?
Didn't exist.
Didn't exist, so those cameras don't run that were directly above Robert West?
Yes, my understanding is that the cameras in the county is not recording, so.
Wow. Okay, right on. Well, good thing there's police accountability activists that film you guys, because you can't be trusted to, you know, in good faith, use the equipment that you use with our money. That's about all I have to say.
I just want to say, while I appreciate Captain Rodriguez's response, all the comments and questions should be directed to the chair of the committee.
Okay, I addressed a comment to you. He answered
I
it.
understand. I do. Who would like to speak next? Go ahead, sir. Yes.
For those of you that are going to vote, I want you to think about this. Suppose it was reversed. Suppose the police officer was taking the video, and this gentleman went up and grabbed that video camera. What would happen to him?
Beaten to pulp.
Think about New York. Selling cigarettes. What happened to that guy?
I can't breathe.
This is an assault. If you touch another human being, that's assault. No questions. You don't need the video. But it's really outrageous that you don't have it. It's outrageous. Come on, folks. This police officer that did that should have been fired on the spot. That is what we call accountability. Not bullshit stuff. For you to vote against this is insane. And you can do it today. You can do it tomorrow. You can do it next month. You can do it 6 months from now. But sooner or later, this city will explode until we get somebody that stands up and says enough. 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 And I got the message. Democracy is messy. Would you understand that?
And again, I'd like to remind everyone, at this point, we're just discussing whether the investigation was thorough enough. We will move to the appeal where we'll discuss these issues.
It was not thorough. Where's the video?
Hi, Madam Chair. I'm curious what sort of safeguards are in place in terms of the PPB, in my view, simply respecting the autonomy and the charge of the CRC, which is to provide citizens review of these sorts of matters. Because the video wasn't provided, it looks as though the PPB doesn't take or regard the CRC with enough deference. And I hope that in the future, the CRC will be able to, or some other body, will be able to provide pathways of communication that allow for equal representation so that the community feels and knows that they are in fact being represented. I thank you all for your service.
So,
She's up to you first.
Dan Hamel with Portland Background. And referring to Mr. Young's point, I'm always curious why they pick the directives that they do to investigate. I believe laws, rules, and orders is the directive that should have been used, and there's a law that Ms. Prosper referred to that was just passed last year that allows citizens, community members to videotape the police in a public place. That was violated, in my opinion. And as Mr. Walsh noted, well, it's harassment, not assault, but if one person talks to another person without that person's consent, that's harassment, which is another law or rule that was violated. Compare this to the bag that was grabbed on the TriMet platform in the case that you last heard earlier this month, which was quite shocking to the woman who was walking away from the officer at the I also just want to thank the IPR director for including his letter, which is very close to what we're asking for, the disposition letter that includes information about how the decisions were made. But we still, I'm in touch with Captain Rodriguez about getting those disposition letters back into your packets for the public, because I think we all should be able to read what the Bureau wrote back to the attorney. Thank you.
I'd like to bring two things to your attention. Number one is, I think the video that the Captain Kruger has may be more complete. I would hope that you would not just rely on a YouTube video that could be edited and cut for your determination before you make a decision whether to take it to appeal, but in fact to watch the video, the full video. And then the second thing is, we believe that this case was sent to the CRC, expedited to the CRC in a wrong manner. City Code states that the complainant or the officer may appeal, and once they appeal it, only then can the IPR director, the mayor, or the police, the chief of police can then ask for an expedited CRC hearing. And so I don't think that happens. We've done a public records request and have not gotten that information, but I believe they put the horse before the carriage. So I would hope that you would also look at that. Thank you.
Thank you. For the record, I'm Charles Johnson, privileged to speak after Police Union President Darrell Turner's advocacy for thuggery.
How's that respect?
So I don't have respect for you. So I don't believe you've earned any.
Please
So
speak respectfully.
no, let's not respect a system that says there's taxpayer-funded cameras up there in the roof, but we don't have any video from them. A package was prepared for y'all. Oh, you shouldn't have looked at the YouTube video, even though we didn't properly prepare an evidence package. I don't care whether it was the police who didn't prepare an evidence package or the IPR who didn't prepare an evidence package. All that happens here is a thug with a gun assaulted a citizen, should have been referred for prosecution to DA Underhill. That is how this hearing needs to resolve, regardless of what you think about the adequacy of the evidence. An assault happened. Police people are covering up an assault by police on a citizen. It should be referred either by the police or somehow through this Citizens Accountability Commission to have that officer investigated for assault, and then we can try and get DA Underhill out of office when he writes another blank check for the police to abuse citizens. Thank you.